What's up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another episode of the What the Fanboy Show.
Bacon, eggs, and cheese. Just wanted to set the tone.
I'm gonna need a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Bacon, eggs,
I'm gonna
and
need
cheese.
bacon, eggs, and cheese.
Out of context, that is probably going to be my new favorite thing to say.
This week
I'll
we
be honest,
are
I definitely said it at work today.
going to be reviewing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Madness film.
Mutant Mayhem.
Mutant Mayhem. I did it right on the Tigger, but I said it wrong in my mic.
It's okay.
Yeah,
forgive
Mutant
you.
Mayhem. And we're just gonna dive right in because we couldn't really find any new trailers this week.
There was Dick's.
Oh, the musical
Yeah.
from A24.
Okay, moving on. Anyway,
Yeah. It's a thumbs down.
horrible trailer.
Yeah, it sucks.
It will find its audience, but horrible.
Yeah.
It definitely will, but
Did not.
didn't
vibe with
impress me. It didn't make me be like, oh yeah.
Not really our cup of tea.
You know, and I like a good Nathan Lane musical performance. Nathan, am I in the minority here? Am I? Do you
I don't know who
guys
that
not?
is. No.
I feel like I should know who it
The
is, but I don't remember.
internet. He was the dad in the trailer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm not connected to the internet.
It's him this time. Loser.
Get wrecked.
Yeah. I'm
Taste of his own.
I mean, I'm sure I've seen something of his.
Look, and I think whatever he probably does in the film, in the musical, will be great. And it looks like there's a lot of talent there.
It's got the Sewer Boys or whatever.
I'm not super, like, it looks like it's just, what if we made
Parent Trap.
Parent
is super
Trap,
crass.
but, yeah, R-rated, and that's Nathan Lane.
Yes. Once you said it was the dad, I recognized who you were talking about.
But yeah, not hyped on that one. So I would also give that trailer a thumbs down.
It's A24. I'm close enough to remember. It's A24. And they have a pretty good track record. So
The thing with A24 films is that very rarely is there a middle ground. It's either like,
it's either really
Oh,
weird and
wow.
funny, or there's a demon at the end.
yeah,
There's definitely going to be a demon at the end of this one. This is actually the
Probably.
sequel to
Probably.
Lamb. No.
It's the sequel to Little Nicky.
Oh, let's not bring it. Probably one of the worst Adam Sandler movies into this conversation, please.
All right. Well, if that's it,
I didn't even finish that movie. It was an Adam Sandler movie I'd never seen. Sorry, tangent. Welcome to the first tangent.
love it.
I'd never seen it. It was on Netflix. I was like, oh, a classic Adam Sandler movie, right? I think I only made it halfway through it.
Yeah, it's not good, man.
I forgot about that movie until
You
you brought it up.
should have consulted someone before starting it. It's not good.
Man, oof. Thank you for reminding me of that
You're welcome.
terrible memory.
You're welcome. I have something.
Oh no. Well,
Well, just keep it going.
while Tyler's dying over here,
I'm not,
Um,
I'm not dying. I just have something in my eye.
hey, rinse it without water.
I
Flush. Eye flush.
Lit over my
Exactly.
laptop.
Yeah, let's talk about the kind of Seth Rogen led Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Not that he's the lead actor, but he was the writer of it, correct? Or at least an
Yeah.
executive producer.
He's
look,
definitely one of the
he's
writers.
He's the big name behind it. And
Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, Jeff Rowe were the writers.
okay.
And Jeff Rowe and Kyler Spears directed.
It's been a number of years since we've gotten a new. Probably. I know Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, much like many of the DC properties, they kind of exist outside of the theater, right? Like there are adaptations that are coming out all the time. Maybe not all the time, but frequently enough that there's always kind of a new storyline happening somewhere. But for those of us who don't watch it typically outside of the theater, this is the first one in what, probably 7-8 years. When was the
Since the second Michael Bay one?
that was 2016 17 maybe. I wanna
Sure.
say.
I'm just going to agree with you. Yes.
sounds right.
You
It
are-
was 2016.
2016.
You were right.
Yeah. So
7 years ago.
it was nice to see the Turtles back in theaters.
Heck yeah.
It's a little bit like it's a little bit like a superhero franchise in that, like, whenever there's a reboot, you kind of get the same beats, right? We're gonna talk about Bruce Wayne's dead parents again. We're gonna talk about how Clark Kent was raised on a farm. We gotta talk about where the turtles come from.
Talk about the sewer life, baby.
But I it works. I don't. It's a story that doesn't. Maybe because it's not always so drenched in despair and sadness. It's like how many times can I see Martha Wayne murdered? It
One
loses
more
something
time.
after a while. Either I'm desensitized to it or whatever. But they always find fun, creative ways to mess with the ooze and that thing. But I think that just leads me into kind of my general thoughts on the movie, which is it's really refreshing to, despite telling a very familiar story at the beginning, and then by the third act it gets really weird, and I very much enjoyed that weirdness.
Dude, it's funny you say refreshing because we always do the little sentence, the Twitter review, right? And
Yeah.
and I wrote a refreshingly made Turtles film that's aimed at a younger audience. It was a much needed switch up for the TMNT IP. I feel like from a theatrical standpoint we've been very aimed at adults. We're aimed at adults. Let's try to make it live action. Let's do all this stuff. Just like it was so nice to just get a Turtles film that was for kids, that still can appeal to fans of the Turtles, right? Like,
Yeah.
I love the Ninja Turtles. I'm wearing a Ninja Turtle crossover with a workout brand shirt. Like, anytime they do like special crossover brand things, I buy it.
Ghost.
Game Lord Master, who listens to the show all the time, for my birthday a couple years ago, bought me a Ninja Turtles Cobra Kai crossover toy box. Like, I just
Wasn't that for the 3-0?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, my 30th birthday, I got a Ninja Turtle gift, and it was awesome. I just, from a general place, love the Turtles, and I like this new take. I think Seth Rogen was a great choice for it.
It works maybe not surprisingly. It just works really well.
Rogen's hot right now, man. He's doing well.
Yeah, agreed. Luke, what are your kind of general thoughts?
I disagree with you guys. It was refreshing. It felt different. There's also a new animation style. It felt like a mix of styles of hand-drawn coloring. It felt like it was like watercolor paint or colored pencils or crayons, depending on what I was like.
Yeah.
Like that all mixed together, and it was super cool.
Yeah, it's like digital, watercolor, and hand-drawn, like all in one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really just think the best decision they made out of the two best decisions, one was making it animated. Because you can do anything with animation.
Yep.
It's like, if you try and do this movie in live action,
It doesn't work.
not
even a little
the
bit.
slightest.
Yeah, some of the stuff with the other crew,
Yeah.
because it's, again, mutant is in the name, is like very Cronenberg-esque,
Yeah.
and like in live action
It'd
that
be gross.
does not fly.
Yeah.
It was already a little gross
Does
in
not
the animated
super
version.
fly.
But live action, that would be horrifying.
Yeah.
The horse, the legs.
The legs.
The legs would be hilarious in live action.
The other thing, which I think was an awesome decision, was that the Turtles are teenagers. They're children. They act like children. They casted children, and they felt like that.
Yeah, they felt like teenagers.
I felt like I wasn't watching an adult try and play a kid, which is, I don't know, 99% of every high schooler in movies ever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I just really appreciated that decision, and I think it adds so much to the story, and it brings out really great voice acting as well.
Mm-hmm.
That jumps like straight into my first pro. It's just like the voice cast being great, actually choosing teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just think for so long it's the same thing you're saying. Like I just echo it. For so long it's been, Alan Richson is Raph. Dude's like 34 years old.
It's like 6'8".
Yeah. Like what are we doing here? So yeah, no, I echo that. I think it was a fantastic decision.
No. Agreed. Tyler, you look like you lost.
I'm reading the comment. Did you guys?
I don't even try because it's too
see
far away.
Little behind the scenes preview. I just had Seth Rogen pop up.
Yeah.
He's like, hey,
and be
thanks
like,
for
"Thanks
watching
for
it
coming
in
to
the
the
theater.
So
I saw somebody say, anytime I type he, that's the laugh you should hear. And I was like, that's pretty good. I can't even do it. I don't know how he laughs like that. He's just stoned. But yeah, voice cast is great. And you kind of talked about animation. I have it as a pro and a con.
Same.
Oh.
So for the pro portion of it, I think all the mutants look really cool. I think the scenery looks cool. I think the city looks awesome. I think everything that they're interacting with looks cool, except for the people.
Yeah, I did not like looking at the human faces.
The only
except
one is
for
April.
April
Yeah.
looks good. And honestly, it's because she's in a lot of the movie. But like whenever it shows the scientist lady or like just people in the city, they all like crooked faces. And,
Yeah.
like one eye is kind of closed. And
They lean into.
It's just
like
off kilter enough that it's uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't disagree. Because on the flip side of that, for the pro, you get really unique shapes with some of the creatures, the mutants. You can really lean into that. And not that I think all of the humans should look super uniform.
Yeah,
obviously,
they just look.
but they really do play with the shape of faces in a way that's a little distracting.
Yeah.
A little distracting.
Yep.
But it benefits the action a lot too.
It does. Like, gosh, that garage fight scene is so good.
Yeah.
It looks so fantastic, and the montage looks so fantastic. Like, it's just, yeah, I like it a lot. I hope we get more in this.
I'd rather them
story.
use this animation style than not and use some generic looking Illumination type
Yeah.
animation.
Agreed.
I think it benefits the movie more than it hinders it. So
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like my actual pro bullet point is animation style mostly.
Mhm.
Like, I would say 90% of it.
Yeah. My next pro is got to be the cast.
Yes.
I think they all
it's pretty
have
stacked.
the turtles have great chemistry for not being, for being young teenagers who don't have like the clout, the years of
They don't have the Riz either.
the industry behind them, right? Like the experience. Not that they're inexperienced by any means, but then you've got them with Ice-T. You've got them with
Ice Cube.
Ice-T.
He's gonna be in the sequel.
Ice Cube.
Make Ice-T the next villain.
Or like Jackie Chan, and how they all play off each other works really well. I don't know. Tyler was telling me that at least for the main cast, rather than recording everyone's lines separately, they just put them all in a room and we're like, go at it.
Great choice.
I think that's fantastic, but it works well whether or not the adults quote unquote, Ice Cube and Jackie Chan or whomever, were also in Seth Rogen or John Cena, were in the booth with them or not. Like, it still plays well.
Yeah.
Like, there's not an obvious differential between that group setting and them interacting with other people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like one of the things Seth Rogen talked about, like he said after he did the voice work for The Lion King, the live action, the way they did it was they'd put him and whoever voiced
Billy Eichner.
Eichner?
Yeah.
They would just put them together in a room to do all the ADR work, and he was like, I had never done that before. So I was like, I wonder if I can do it with 4 people. So he's like, I'm just gonna put these kids in a room, and he basically just let them go. And then like if they would do something, and he'd like interject and be like, hold on, let me write a joke in here, and he'd write a joke in like while they're improvising, and they would just throw it in, and like it just I think Baroque's talking about how they wanted to have teenage energy, and I think that probably fed into that quite a bit. Yeah. So I love the choices. I think it's a great cast, man. I hope we get them back, for sure. For me, another pro though, score and music.
Yeah.
Their use of licensed music I thought was really good.
I was bopping off.
I know. Yeah. There were several moments where I was like, oh, okay, all right. I listened to there's like a playlist of all the licensed music on Spotify. I listened to that for a little bit today, and I think they just made great choices, like for kind of the look they're going for the feel they're going for. The music they chose was great. And then Reznor and Ross, right?
Atticus.
Atticus, yeah. They did a great job with the score. The score's awesome. Like if you listen to it outside of the movie, you're like, yo, this is it's kind of intense. But it's really good, man. I don't know. I didn't go into it expecting that, so it was kind of I expected the licensed music to steal the show, but the score is incredible. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
So, pretty happy with it. Got any other pros?
I think it kind of mixes into voice acting, kind of. But there's an action scene with Splinter, played by Jackie Chan. And I just thought it was really cool how they put Jackie Chan's style of martial arts into the movie for
the
Splinter.
Chair bit. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, he's like spinning around the chair. It's like, that's what Jackie Chan...
He's done it in a movie. Yeah. Like, what movie? Was it one of the Rush Hours he does that?
It's like every movie.
Yeah. It's like, just
like the way he uses his environment, how it's like comedic, flowing throughout the room and using the stuff around. It was super cool to see. And even the turtles kind of do it too. Like in the garage scene.
Yeah.
They're like using the car to fight. I just really, really liked that.
Yep. It was cool.
Yeah.
Something that's not talked about much, it's a pro for me though, in animation, is cinematography.
Dude, they put like a light goes across the camera and you like see the dust on the edges of the lens.
It's
like right at the beginning.
Incredibly well, and I'm going to use the word shot. It's not, not in the traditional sense, but most animation studios, they think about when they're drawing, animating, rendering these things, they are thinking about things like lens choice and movement and stuff like that. But like it's a fun movie to watch. It's got good kinetic energy. With the camera, like you mentioned, like it feels like the camera is a piece of the environment. Like it's filmed on this kind of old, maybe broken on lens, and it's dusty and artifacty, and it's just really well done. The big shots feel big and epic, and those personal moments feel intimate and heartfelt.
I feel like there's a weird trend also in animated movies now to put live action in for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's been popping up a lot.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I just think it's funny.
That did catch me off guard for sure.
I wasn't expecting that. Dude.
Yeah.
And the cutouts, I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh.
That's right. Oh. I kind of forgot about the cutouts.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was a good joke. I'm glad that joke has made it into a movie now.
Yeah. Well, and that's something we haven't talked about. The writing is really strong.
Yep.
It's got the Seth Rogen crude humor, but it's way deeper than, some of what I think Seth Rogen is known for. I certainly think Seth Rogen can write heartfelt, and he understands what it is to be right. I think he's a good writer. He's just not known for it. And who was the other writer on this? You had mentioned it. I forgot right here.
Evan Goldberg.
And Jeff Rowe. So Evan,
they do pretty much everything together.
Yeah, but it's a good team for this, and
Seth Rogen is a teenager still, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the tag in the trailer, like the forever
from
teenager?
permanent
permanent
teenager.
Permanent teenager, yeah. Yep. My last pro for this one, and I kind of allude to it in my sentence thing, is that it's well aimed.
Mm-hmm.
I think this movie it's very kid oriented with enough jokes. We were kind of talking about, you watched it with Claire, and we were kind of like, there's enough jokes that like kids won't understand. I think my favorite one is when Leo kind of has, a word vomit, and they're like, dude, did all your hormones just kick in at once? And like, it just cracked me up because it's a joke that a kid won't understand.
Right.
But like, as a parent, like, you're there, you're laughing. It's really well aimed. I think it hits the mark for kids and adults really, really well.
Mm-hmm. And even just the way the turtles interact, like they're constantly referencing stuff in their world, which is just how kids talk.
Yeah.
Like they reference Marvel movies and stuff. It's
Fortnite,
like, dude, it's and Attack on Titan. It's just like, this is just like doing Endgame with Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the Mark Ruffalo bits were so funny. You're better at improv than Mark Ruffalo. Yeah, it is cool. Like, it's one of those things you don't think about when you go to the movies to see an animated movie, but it works really well. Game Lord mentions the SpongeBob effect, talking about live action in animated movies, because they did the whole David Hasselhoff bit years and years ago.
SpongeBob was in this movie.
SpongeBob's in this movie, yeah. Spoiler, SpongeBob's in the movie. It's kind of blink and you miss it, but it's cool, man. But yeah, I just was incredibly impressed with how, well aimed this movie was. And it was just really, really refreshing to have something like that.
Agreed.
Yeah. And it's a message that both kids and adults can still relate to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like the message of the movie applies to the 3 different age groups.
Yep.
Or in groups of people. Like it's the Turtles, it's April, and it's Splinter, and it's Superfly. Like they're all dealing with the same thing, just in different ways, and it all comes together.
I do love one of the things they do. Thank you for saying that, because it reminded me. I do love what they do with Splinter and Superfly.
Yeah.
And how they have the same feelings, they just go about them differently, and it's like they both are trying to do the same thing in a way, just one way more violently than the other, right? But like, I loved that little play, and like you talk about Splinter, like what Splinter's learning is, oh man, I've been doing this wrong. Like,
I appreciated too that Splinter was not cast aside and just like, I'm here to train the turtles.
I don't think he's ever referenced to as Splinter either. Like, he's just dad. He's just
yeah.
They're dad.
He's kind of an old crotchety old man, which was really cool.
Don't call me Ratatouille.
But yeah, he felt more like he had a relationship with the turtles than if like in the older ones where he's just like, I'm your master. I will teach you kung fu to protect the world. And this was like, don't go out there. They're going to kill you.
I'm going to teach you kung fu to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Not protect others.
Last pro, thank you for not using the Foot Clan.
Oh.
And doing something different. We get enough Foot Clan. We'll get Foot Clan in the next one.
Yeah.
But thank you for doing something different. It was really refreshing. And to also not make it a punch, smash fest with Bebop and Rocksteady, because that gets done a lot too. Like, different kind of story, different characters, use of some familiar faces that are done differently. Man, loved it. Loved that. I do have some cons though.
Ooh, hit me with them.
So one of them, I think the end of it, the stuff back in the city after the reactor thing.
Yeah.
It does feel a little long there, like it gets a little stretched out. I think it's fine, but
it does kind of feel like a fourth act.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're getting a little long-winded here, like with the whole plan to stop Superfly. Again, not like a huge issue, but it did feel like it kind of stretched itself out a little bit there. And then my other one was, I wanted more, like, the Turtles are known for, ninjutsu, and I wanted more of it. Like, the garage scene is the peak action scene of the movie to me.
Yeah.
I wanted more of that. And again, what I got is fine, and I liked it. But I would have loved to see more of like the hand-to-hand stuff that they were doing in those moments, and like the montage scene when they're hunting down the
Dude, that
the
scene
bosses.
was so awesome.
Like I loved those scenes so much, and I just wanted more of that. And I
Mhm.
think like with the Foot Clan in the future, you'll get more of that. But I would have liked, for my personal liking, I would have liked a little bit more of that.
I definitely think there's it I guess it makes sense to me that they're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
In this movie.
For sure.
And so like to have them kind of have to at the end not rely on their own skills, but the idea of teamwork
Right.
and working together, and that diminishes the opportunity for there to be a really cool. Each of them have their moment during this awesome fight,
Including with the people they do it with.
right? Yeah,
which is a little more involved.
It is. Yeah, I got very. There's another superhero movie that I got big vibes from for the with this, like, oh, that feels like this moment in that movie, and it felt good. It was nice. But you're right in that there is an opportunity.
Cranes? No. Is that the right one?
Maybe.
Okay, yeah. I thought of that too.
Yeah. No, there's an opportunity, especially now that they're kind of out in the public eye. They're surely going to be training more.
Yeah.
They will have the opportunity in the sequel to really be those.
Oh yeah, be the classic turtles.
Yeah, the classic.
And they are still like, I'm sure there's the question: are they still the classic turtles? Is April O'Neil the same? This is a different like age for the turtles than I think what we've had in the past, right? Like April's a high schooler.
We're at 13 instead of 18.
18.
We're at 15.
Right.
Yeah, 15.
Oh, yeah.
15. The only reason I correct you is because I think they state it. So,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's just a different age for them. So like April's in high school and they meet her there instead of when she's established as a reporter.
Right.
Still works, right? Like I liked it a lot, and I'm a huge turtle fan. So
Their
it did not bother
relationship
me.
with April was a lot of fun, too.
Yes. Oh yeah. You guys are not doing yourselves any favors here. A bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese. I got my Tims and the bacon, egg, and cheese. I hope they release that scene so I can watch it a million times. It's so good. Did you guys have any cons before I ask my question?
I don't think so. I forgot to write notes for it, so I didn't write any down.
No.
Nothing. I guess just the way the humans looked.
Yeah. Which is
not really.
Yeah. It doesn't like break the movie. I'm with you there. I don't think any of my cons like break the movie either.
No, and my last one
the movie
doesn't
works
either,
great.
and it's something I talked about a little bit with Tyler, actually before you had even seen it, and it's there's a decent again this is aimed probably at someone who's slightly older than my daughter, but like there is a decent amount of language and that crude Seth Rogen humor that if your kid's not super exposed to that or if you're not comfortable with hearing like Ice Cube, not Ice T, Ice Cube yell, like what the hell, 30 times, like that's in there.
Even just like I'm going to murder you.
Yeah.
Murder's a heavy burden, dude.
It's I don't know. Again,
It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
I don't know
For
if that's.
a young
I wouldn't
child.
say it's a con for the movie. It's just something to be aware of if you're taking
A kid.
a child.
Yeah.
Something probably most even 10-year-olds have their heads wrapped around at this age, at least in America.
Yeah.
I
I would say 10 or 11's probably
It's like
the young age.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah. So, but
There was some
Claire still enjoyed
young
it.
children in our showing.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Listen, I was very annoyed by them, but honestly, just prayers for those parents.
Yeah, they were fighting for their lives back there, dude.
Like halfway, 2/3 through the movie, it's just like, are you serious? And then like, first of all, we saw it in 3D because it's the only time Tyler could go. I took off my glasses and I just kind of watched them for a bit, and it's just like, okay, I'm not really gonna be mad at them because I saw the dad and he's just like, you can tell he was not having it.
Yeah.
And my advice would be just leave. But I also don't
they,
know, like, is that going to get worse if they leave?
How old were the kids?
Maybe 4.
4 or 5. They were real young.
Yeah.
And it was a
Maybe
later
3.
showing too. Like
They were standing watching and kind of doing this.
and one little girl was like repeating every line.
Yeah.
So
That was kind of funny.
If there was
Like,
no,
I don't approve of it, but it was kind of funny.
if there was no score, like you could hear them really bad. But like if the music was pumping and like things were happening, I really didn't hear them then.
Yeah.
But anytime the movie got quiet, they were
Yeah.
very loud. But yeah, it was so funny. They left like at the very end. Like
It wasn't even over.
the movie wasn't over, but it was like wrapping up, and like you could clearly tell it was wrapping up. But they were just like, "We're out. We are leaving." And then like the credits rolled like right when they walked around the corner, and I was like, "Yeah, well." They made it pretty far.
They were, yeah.
They made it further than I would have made it.
Yeah.
I would have left.
I would have not taken my child into the door.
Yeah.
No, you gotta know your kid.
Yeah.
Gotta know your kid. Tyler, what was your question gonna be?
Who was your favorite turtle in this?
Awkward silence.
My favorite turtle is Mikey, always, because I think he's hilarious.
I
and
just
cool.
mean specifically in this.
But
this-
yeah. But
yeah.
in this movie, it was Donnie.
Donnie's great.
I
man.
love Donnie.
I was leaning it. I was trying to think because Donnie. I answered Donnie last week when we talked about who our favorite turtles were, and I didn't terribly have. I agree. I think Donnie is my favorite turtle in this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's still Leo.
Leo's got the bigger arc, but
I think like if I have to take Leo out, right? Because I chose him last week, I would say it's Donnie as well. But I just love like Leo is in this is learning A, to be a leader, but B, that like I love the message of doing the right thing isn't always easy.
Mhm.
Like I love that. I always think that's so good, right? Like just integrity is important.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things I think people should value a lot stronger than they do. So when it's like in a movie, it just makes me really happy. So
I do think this is the best Leo we've gotten, at least in a while. Leo, in my opinion, has always been super boring. He's the leader.
he never makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least he makes it, but then he fixes it.
Right away, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I get it. But in this one, I felt like he just had a lot more personality.
yeah,
Like, he's still the kid. He's like, I want to have friends with my brother, but I don't want to get in trouble because it's on me because I'm in charge.
And he's still
Yeah.
willing to make decisions that he knows aren't the right ones because his brothers want to do it, and he does it, right? And sometimes it doesn't go horrible. Like I loved that he makes a decision to do something, and they're like, oh, it could go so bad, but he's like, I'll do it, and then it doesn't go bad. And it's like nice. Like Leo took a chance and it didn't kill him, and then like it kind of progresses throughout the movie, right? Like I think it's just good, man. Yeah, his name is Nardo. Leon Ardo. That's way cooler. Yeah. No,
okay, Nardo.
Yeah.
The bacon, eggs, and cheese.
The bacon, egg, and
Bacon, eggs,
cheese.
and cheese.
So clearly a lot of love for the turtles.
Absolutely.
And this movie over here. Any final thoughts before we give our ratings?
If you like the Turtles, you'll like this one.
If you like good animated movies,
You'll like this one.
you'll probably have a good time with this one.
Agreed.
Absolutely agree.
Or just a good movie.
Just good movies.
I only
watch
good animated
What do you guys give it?
Ooh, man, I've been back and forth on this all day.
I give it a booyah
Do it.
because I think it's just a solid flick.
Yeah.
Everybody, I think, will have a good time with it. It's funny. Got a good message. It's entertaining. It looks cool. What's not to like about that?
Yeah, I'll give it
And
a
then
booyah.
it's just a good movie. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll give it a booyah too. I've been back and forth on it. I'm giving it a booyah. You convinced me.
dumpster fire. No.
This movie
This is
doo-doo.
garbage. No, of course not. This movie's awesome, and I think I'm kind of at that place where it's kind of like with Tyler, like
I was like strong. It's like a strong,
It's a-
strong fanboy worthy or a booyah. But I'm with like Luke. Kind of the way you paint it, it's like yeah, you're right. It is a booyah in my mind. It's okay if you don't.
I'm gonna give it a fanboy worthy, but again, a strong
I'm gonna
fanboy
tie your
worthy.
shoes together.
Joke's on you. I only have one shoe on
That's what you think.
currently. Not currently. I have 0 shoes on, but I'm only ever wearing one shoe at a time now.
I'm gonna hide all of your right shoes.
That's fine.
All of your left shoes.
Good try. Good try.
It was well intentioned.
To
better luck next time.
Give our listeners a sneak preview. I have. Oh, you can't even see it on camera.
He's got a boot on.
I've got a boot. I'm trying to be cool like Tyler was earlier this year.
It was not cool. Don't do that.
So, yeah, don't wear a boot if you don't have to. Take care of yourself.
There's a snake in my boot.
Rye Cerrone over in the chat says, TMNT gotta see. Great animation, awesome music, fun take on the material. Agreed.
And I love your username.
What was his username? Say it for the people that missed the announcement but can't read that far away.
Rye Cerrone?
I dig it.
It's good stuff.
Very good stuff. All right, well, let's move over to some news.
I hope I'm not just laughing at that person's name. What if their name was Rice?
Oh.
Then they should be the villain in a Batman film.
Don't know, Luke. Who's got a news story for us?
I got one because it involves one of my favorite games.
Ooh.
Red Dead Redemption 1 with Undead Nightmare coming to PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch.
Oh, just 4? Not 5?
Well, so that's the whole kicker, right? Like, they updated their banner on the website. They did all these things. Everybody's like, it's a remaster, blah, blah, blah. It's not. They're just making it backwards compatible on PlayStation 4 and 5. And it's not in 4K. It's still 30 frames per second. They're doing nothing to it. And now it's going to be on Switch, too.
Well, the last time they did something.
It was the GTA.
It did not go well.
It did not go well. What's crazy to me is they're selling this for $50.
Nice.
It's been on Xbox
For $5.
from the Xbox One days forward. Like, from when it came out on 360, it's always been there on Xbox, which I think is so interesting. And it's always been $30. And then they're like, PlayStation, $50.
I think I paid $5.
Well, yeah, it's always on sale. Like, they always mark it down. But I find it so interesting that they're not doing anything to it and they're going to sell it for $50. That's so wild to me.
I think it tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, I think it's just wild because it's on Xbox at $30. Like, I looked it up because I was like, is that how much it costs on Xbox? No, $30 flat. So, to do this, like, to release the same thing, it's so strange to me. But, you know, it is what it is. No online, but you get Undead Nightmare and the story. So, good for them.
Well, I'll also talk about one of my favorite games.
Nice.
A game that I actually haven't been playing that much. Bungie finally united their player base. The whole community has come together and rallied because Bungie posted a state of the game and pretty much everybody hated it. Everybody in the community is, I think it was Paul Tassi said, angry or depressed about Destiny. The Joe Blackburn put out a state of the game, and when you're like kind of expecting a self-reflection about what you've done over the past year, and like, okay, there might have been some missteps here and there. Here's where we're gonna try and improve. It really just felt like a normal TWAB, and they talked about nothing.
Yeah.
It was almost 7,000 words, 6,500 words, and it really just upset pretty much everybody. And like a lot of people are saying, it probably would have been better if they didn't post this. Some big points from it are nobody's playing Gambit, so they're going to stop supporting it. And you don't even have to play it anymore to get a pinnacle drop or whatever. Like, it's dead.
If it was already dead, they're now like burying it in the grave.
They're adding in a map they took out and like updating the newer enemies, but once that's done, it's over.
Expect all support for it to drop completely.
Teams are moving on to other things.
Are they gonna move on to multiplayer?
No. But wouldn't that be a good idea?
It
right?
would be. You'd think.
Hey, they're getting a new map though. The multiplayer map.
They're getting one new map, yeah.
Nice. How long has it been since their last map?
Which coin? Which disjunction? Disjunction. Oh, gosh dang it!
It works.
I wish I heard that same joke on somebody's stream, and I just made it by accident. That's so freaking dumb. I feel bad about that. Yeah, through the state of the game, they never say it explicitly, but there is no dedicated PvP team outside
crazy.
of like maintenance.
Isn't that like one of the biggest things people have been asking for too?
Yeah, they're like, hey, we would love a map, just maps to keep coming out. Just support PvP, because literally half the player base of Destiny is playing PvP, and they get nothing or the bare minimum. And they pretty much said, listen, if we take people to make maps, you're not going to get cool exotic missions, or you're not going to get cool season stuff. It felt like, when you read it, they're blaming the player. It's like, well, do you want this cool stuff, or we can just go do this? It's like, choose what you want. It's like, we want maps.
Yeah.
And then kind of on the other side of that too, and that kind of goes hand in hand with Gambit. Last year, they said every year we're going to update the ritual armor. So like Gambit, Strikes, and Crucible will have an armor set. They're all the same, but they're different colors.
They have some tweaked.
Yeah, just it's one armor set. And in Lightfall came out, they didn't put one out, and everybody was like, what the heck? Where's the new armor set? Never said anything. Here we are, like 6 months later, and they say, we're actually not going to be doing this every year. Nobody wears them. And the community's like, well, they're bad. Why don't you take one of the great armor sets in Eververse? Because there's 5, like, every season. I don't know. That might be an exaggeration. There's at least 3 every season that you have to pay real money for. They're all incredible. So that's what people are going to wear. It's like, so nobody's going to transmog the basic helmet.
Right.
And it just kind of leads into the whole microtransaction state in Destiny, because it's free to play, free to try. And they did not talk about microtransactions at all. So Destiny's just in a weird spot. There's some good stuff in it. They like, now you can favorite shaders. That's pretty cool. There's a showcase on the 22nd about the final shape. But just like the vibes in the community are just not great. And final shape's gonna come out. People are gonna play it, and then you're gonna see a big old dip in numbers. And I don't think Bungie's ready for it.
Kind of crazy.
Dang. All right. Well, thanks for the update. I haven't played that game in like
A year
almost.
Yep. I had to give an update as the lone player of Destiny.
Appreciate it, Luke.
For people I know now.
Lepke commented when I was talking about Red Dead, I was like, inflation, buddy, look it up. It would make sense if the Xbox one was 50 and the PlayStation one was 50, but one's 30, one's 50. It's weird.
Maybe it was a different...
That's weird to me.
Was it a different countries? Is it a Canadian or European or...
No, it was just the
Japanese store?
Xbox store.
No, for the PlayStation one. They're like, it's going to be 50 euros.
And then someone just, misinformed. Like,
Good idea. Let me check that.
Good to check.
I don't remember what the rates are going back and forth, so I might not even be right.
Maybe,
Or the right
maybe
exchange
not.
rate.
Good.
I'm glad I already own it.
So, we had a big thing happen this last weekend. Barbie crossed the $1 billion.
3 Comma Club.
Yeah.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, I don't think anyone predicted that.
You know, I feel like Warner
Surely someone did, but I didn't.
Warner has a weird track record of finding
$49.99 USD.
random movies that hit $1 billion,
Yeah,
like Joker.
yeah. Like,
And
should
with
this
Barbie.
work? Does
Like-
this work? I don't know. Apparently it does.
Did they split the cost for Barbie as well, so they don't get all the?
I mean, they got to share some with Mattel, right?
We're gonna
That's
get-
the other thing.
We're gonna get Barbie 2. It's gonna be not a musical. This one kind of was. It's gonna be dark and depressing.
Yeah, did you mention it's the first solo female director?
I had not yet, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
She is now the first solo. This is the first solo female-directed movie to cross $1 billion.
Had a girl, Greta.
Way
I
to
like
go,
it.
Greta.
She's good. She's good.
I like
She
it.
absolutely will be able to make whatever she wants next.
She got
'Cause the
Narnia,
other-
baby.
That's probably not completely.
Because the other one was Captain Marvel, right? Because it was co-directed.
That was co-directed.
Okay.
Yep. Yep, for sure.
Captain Marvel made $1 billion?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Back when Marvel was just printing
They were
money.
buzzing, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
So
Now they launder money.
speaking of directors,
Got him.
Christopher Landon is going to be directing Scream 7. For those of you who do not know who Christopher Landon is, he directed Happy Death Day and Freaky, one of the two latest things he's done. I'm excited for that. I think that's a good choice.
Is he connected to the two dudes who directed the last two?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I know they're moving into like EP roles.
Maybe they could.
And I wonder if they handpicked him or if, how that all worked out. But no, that's cool. I think, the breath of fresh air that I haven't seen 6, but the breath of fresh air that 5 was for that franchise. Like, it's nice to see another, creator get a crack at it.
Yep.
So, awesome. Looking forward to it.
Agreed.
Last thing I have, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 got its release date and logo. The logo is the Modern Warfare 2 logo, but it's red, and it's 3 instead of 2.
Hot.
And
Love
the
it.
game is coming out November 10th, 2023.
Graphic designers unionize.
So I am back on the passing on Call of Duty train. So
Maybe it'll be on Game Pass.
could be.
I was gonna say if it is, then
If it is, I'll download it and check it out. But I'm not.
Warzone was free.
Warzone.
Warzone is
Warzone's
free.
always
Okay.
free.
Yeah.
So who really cares, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't play Warzone.
So
But
it was.
yes.
Have they announced Warzone 3.0?
No, I don't think so. They did announce that like Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps will be in this one.
Favela?
Yeah. That set of maps. Apparently some of those will be in this game.
Cool.
So
I have a couple other news stories before we get over to the Fanbox and answer some questions. William Friedkin
yes.
passed away earlier.
Today, I think it was announced,
this
wasn't it?
morning. It was
Yeah.
announced this morning.
Yeah.
Famously director of The Exorcist. I almost said The Matrix. Two very different movies. The Exorcist.
Crossover confirmed.
Crossover confirmed. Oh. R.I.P.
I haven't seen The Exorcist, but I've seen The French Connection, which he directed, which
Yeah.
is an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it. You should check it out.
Yeah. An excellent director all around. And then my last news story is that the VFX studios at Marvel have filed to unionize.
Let's go. We talked about this like last week, right?
We did. It's kind of that like the ball is rolling and
They saw these people getting
the
fighting for their
the stars are
livelihood.
aligning, and so they're like, "All right, let's do it. It's now or never." I think that's good, and I think that will. My hope would be that it leads to higher quality products and, as a long pause, under better working conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Because my guess is personally, I do better work when I'm not having to, constantly be sprinting 24/7. So, I think that the timing may work out well with, like, have a feeling Marvel's going to be slowing down how much they need anyways, with the announcement that we're probably going to be slowing down the number of TV shows we're doing for Disney Plus. And now, like, Star Wars, obviously they're still going strong, but they're not doing as many movies currently. So it might be something where they don't hit too much of a brick wall when it comes to Disney and the parent. I mean, obviously Disney doesn't want it. At the end of the day, they're gonna fight it. Probably they're gonna try and dissuade. But yeah, big news there on that front. So
the best way I can think of crunch is, like, try to run a 5K in only when you can sprint full speed. And see if you can finish it faster than if you were to go slow and steady.
I'd quit. Eat running.
You do, don't you?
Makes me tired. The last story I have is we had an interview with Gal Gadot.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was this week.
Oh yeah.
She said she had talked to James Gunn and Peter Safran sometime. I also don't know when the interview was, because everybody's on strike. Well, she's not. She and Stephen Amell. And she said she's Wonder Woman in the next Wonder Woman thing.
And they're developing a
Wonder Woman 3. Yeah.
And I don't know.
Don't know how to feel about that?
Yeah. I don't know. I really enjoyed her as Wonder Woman. But I'm ready to move on.
I mean, I think we've talked about,
I mean, it's a reboot, right?
Gal as, like, she really embodied it well in that first one. I think even in Justice League, whichever version, I think she did a good job. 84 was this weird, like, we don't know what this movie is, and I'm not sure she did either. But yeah, I'm okay with it, I think, because they have the opportunity to develop it with her in mind.
Yeah. It depends who.
That said, I was also kind of on the, like, train of, like, okay, like, let's see who's next. Like, who's the next gonna be the next big thing. So I was prepared for that, and it's a little bit of a whiplash now, especially to be revealed in this kind of a manner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also weird too. Like, they've said they're rebooting, they've said all these things, and, like, the characters that are carrying over so far have been pretty inconsequential.
Mm-hmm.
Viola Davis is probably
the biggest one, right? And, like, carrying over Wonder Woman, like, a member, like, part of the Trinity is kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, I would think that all of those would be recast, but I don't know. Maybe it was just a tongue-in-cheek comment. It's not actually a thing.
I guess the biggest one could be Jason Momoa. We still don't know that whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
But James Gunn hasn't said anything, so who knows?
I was gonna say, it's also one of those things.
That is a good point.
It's in. They're working on it is not a confirmation of it's actually happening.
Henry Cavill was signed up too before James is like, we have decided to move on, and
I wonder
has been recast.
If she's helping develop it because she embodied Wonder Woman outside of these movies as well, as, like, a producer of some sort.
Could.
Or an EP. Like, she still wants to be a part of all this, but not actually get to be the character. I don't know.
Rice Aroni wants Simon Baker as Aquaman.
Baker. Simon, is that the Mentalist? Please respond.
The Mentalist.
That's a Mentalist.
Yeah, cool Aquaman.
I'm cool
I
with
can
it.
get behind that.
I'm down too. Mentalist, I think, was my dad's favorite show.
Aquaman would be a bit older. Yeah, Lepke also mentioned, like, he got his in-laws to watch Wonder Woman 84 when it came out, and they were, like, actually mad at him for it.
I remember it was because it came out at Christmas time,
yeah,
and it was 2021 Christmas.
20.
Was it 20 Christmas? Yeah, because it was the first of those like dual release. Well,
It was the first one.
it was the first one, and we were at my in-laws for the holidays, and we were like, "Oh, let's watch it." And we all kind of were like, "That was a movie."
I liked it.
I did too.
It was.
Damn.
I can
liked it.
recognize its shortcomings, but I still enjoy it.
It's fine. We do have a couple.
Let's fight, Brandon.
We do have a couple Fanbox questions tonight.
Dude, what the heck,
I want to make sure we get to. What's up? Lepke's.
Lepke commented, I met Simon Baker and talked to him when he shot a movie in my small hometown. Random
What?
fact. He shook my hand and it moved. And asked me all kinds of questions. It's so random.
Homie,
That's
met the
very,
mentalist.
That's very cool. Did he mentalize you? Is that what it's called?
He was acting.
I
in
don't
that
believe
show,
you. I don't
so
believe you. People are exactly who they are in films.
I'm glad you think that. I don't want to break the magic for you. It's so true, Brett.
Thanks, man.
They're exactly
right.
as...
Well, over in the chat, let's move over to the fan box now. Over in the chat, we have a question from Rice-A-Roni. With all of the holiday-themed horror movies that have come out, do you think anyone is possibly going to buy the Holiday World theme park and make rides based on those horror movies?
So I looked up the Holiday World theme park. This place is in Santa Claus, Indiana. And I don't know if anybody's going to buy it and do it, but I hope they do.
I love that idea.
I'm pretty sure they're just gonna make a horror movie based on that theme park.
Ooh. Flip it on its head.
That's
like it.
great. I do remember, I don't know, it was sometime in the late spring, I want to say, here in Wichita, there was a horror theme park, a traveling one that was over at Town East.
Yeah.
I drove by it like every day going to work. I'm like, not for me, but
It's coming back.
that's pretty cool. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Popular enough to come back. That's all.
I guess
That's
so.
great.
I hope all the kids have fun there.
Lepke added to his story, I watched Casey Affleck run down the street like 100 times. Hey, thanks for that question.
What the heck was this movie?
Rice-A-Roni. Yeah, what movie was it? Do you know?
Well, it had to be one with Casey Affleck and Simon Baker, so that narrows it down.
The Killer Inside Me. Maybe?
Yes. Absolutely. I don't know. We had another Fanbox question that I will
Simon Baker to chase Casey Affleck in The Killer. Is that the scene you saw? West Texas Sheriff.
All right, keep
Sorry,
going.
keep
Sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. So our next Fanbox question is from Easton over on Twitter. Easton follows us on Twitter and asked a question. Actually,
What's Twitter?
A couple weeks ago, I refused to call it X. It is Twitter, and it will be Twitter until the day I die. He liked the Fanbox question in our Asteroid City episode.
Oh, nice.
It was kind of about, if you had to pick one thing or the other. I think in this case it was Barbie or Oppenheimer. Which would you go to? He added to it. He said, if Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve, Quentin Tarantino, Robert Eggers, and Paul Thomas Anderson all had a movie coming out on the same day, and you could only see one, is there a director that you would go? Who would you choose?
Ooh,
You can only see one of
man.
them. Because that's a pretty stacked look.
That's a good group.
I love Paul Thomas Anderson. He would not be on the top of my list though.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably go to a Michael Bay movie before I go to a Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
You do love you love Michael Bay
I'm just
way
being honest.
more than I expect you to.
I'm gonna be for real. I don't even know if I've seen one of his movies.
Probably not.
Sorry, I don't really want to watch Phantom Thread.
Oh,
It's like the
you
most
are.
normal movie.
You are. Oh, you've seen Licorice Pizza. We watched that one together.
We did watch Licorice Pizza.
Oh, who am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Wes Anderson. Probably.
No.
Oh,
That's
no.
Asteroid City guy.
Yeah. That's not who you're thinking of? Who are you thinking of?
Hold on. Gosh, I can't type.
I would That's so hard to say.
I think it depends on, because there's like,
Is this an original movie or is this an adaptation of something?
No, Paul Thomas Anderson. Yeah. Phantom Thread.
Yeah, so you've
Yeah.
seen Licorice Pizza.
That movie was not very good. IMO.
I didn't like it a ton.
Thought it was
I
weird.
don't think.
I think my gut answer is Denny.
I think mine's Nolan.
I don't blame you. That's a.
Let's break this down. Paul Thomas Anderson? No.
Yeah, out.
Eggers? Bacon and Eggers. Get out of here.
Nice. Way to wrap that in. Eggers, I like Eggers, but he's not in this conversation.
Honestly,
agree.
even for Quentin Tarantino, I have no choice. Just, I know people love him. They're probably favorite director for some of them, but not for me.
I like Tarantino a lot, but Nolan and Villeneuve, I think, are different. Those guys. Other ones.
How it depends on the movie.
See, this
Agreed.
is what I
So let's say they're making the exact same movie. Like they both got the same. They were given the same idea, and they're both taking that idea.
Oh. Well, then it depends on genre. You're gonna have to break it down. Because if it's something like Oppenheimer, I'm gonna choose Nolan. If it's like a biopic, it's Nolan. If it's a Western,
How about this? They've both made sci-fi.
I was
it's
gonna say
sci-fi-
sci-fi's, man. Oh, that's so
I'm still gonna
hard.
go Denny. I'm gonna stick with my gut. I'm gonna go with Denny.
I'm gonna say Nolan.
Break the tie.
I'm gonna hide in a bunker and see no movie because I'd be too stressed out by the choice.
Yeah,
Just hide in there with a pail of water.
and that's not
Classic.
that's not an
Um,
indicator for. Like, I think there's, like, I enjoyed Dune a lot.
Yeah.
He did Arrival too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
See,
Arrival a lot.
The first movie that comes to my head when I hear Denny, it's Arrival, and then it's Blade Runner, and I'm like,
yeah, and Blade Runner. That's
I
right.
can't.
Arrival, Blade Runner, Dune,
Prisoners.
Sicario, Prisoners,
Yeah, I've seen
Enemy.
Sicario. I've not seen Enemy.
I would
We
choose
need to
Denny.
watch, though.
Mainly, here's why. Nothing has missed for Denny for me yet.
Yeah.
Tenet was a miss in my opinion. Still good, but it was a miss.
Uncheck Nolan.
Get out of here, Nolan, you suck. No.
Villeneuve hasn't had a movie where he's been unchecked yet, though.
Yeah.
When he gets to that unchecked stage of his career and he gets to make whatever
We may-
he wants,
yeah,
it
it'll
might
be
get a little.
interesting.
It might be like, ooh, no.
You know, maybe he's a director though who understands who doesn't want to be unchecked. There are
Yeah.
those directors who
Sure.
I think understand that the process requires checks and balances.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They both have a movie in my top 10.
I think they both. Might be
Well,
weird.
actually, Nolan has a lot of my top 10. But my top 10 is ever-flowing. But like Interstellar and Sicario are staples.
Yeah.
So
I like.
I think Nolan and Villeneuve are, pretty similar filmmakers. Like, I think they both do such a good job of crafting something for cinema.
Sure. Yeah.
And
yeah, yeah.
I think that's where they're head and shoulders above those other ones,
Sure.
right? Like, what they make, you want to see it on the biggest screen possible.
Yeah.
Every time.
Fair enough.
You
Yes.
don't think twice about it.
Yeah.
It's like, Nolan's got one coming out this weekend. Cool, IMAX, let's do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Same
would-
with Villeneuve.
I would say this also. All of Nolan's movies feel the same. Or more so. Like they all even have a similar soundtrack and
Yeah.
feeling and tone. Whereas
Because
like
he has his
Villeneuve
people.
has
He has more range.
Arrival to Enemy to Prisoners and then Sicario.
Right.
It's like those all have a lot different vibe.
I think
to
it's
them.
because
Mhm.
Nolan is the I have my people guy, and Villeneuve's like, I have a new team for every movie.
Yeah.
Mm.
It might even be to Nolan. I think writes. I don't think Villeneuve is
A writer, yeah.
No.
as written. Like he didn't write Sicario.
That's
No.
Sheridan, right?
Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
think he.
There's
yeah.
a difference for
Yeah.
sure.
And that makes sense.
Oh,
then
dude!
why-
Like Barbenheimer was cool, but can I have a Villeneuve Nolan double feature?
That'd be sick.
Barbenheimer experience.
I hope they're two very vastly different genres of film too. Like
It will be the Nolan Western,
yes,
and then the Villeneuve
gangster movie.
gangster movie. Yeah, sure.
Oh, yes, please.
That'd be
How
so
about
cool.
how
I love
about
that
this?
pitch.
How about this? They're both making a Western. Villeneuve's already made a Western.
Is Sheridan writing it?
No.
Then
He wrote both of them.
I think it does depend.
Dang it.
I think it does depend on who writes Denny's movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
Because if it's Sheridan and they're both Westerns, I'm going to the Sheridan. I'm going to Villeneuve's Western.
I'd be so curious about a Nolan Western.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Villeneuve's kind of made a Western, though, with Sicario.
Yeah.
It's a Western,
It
but
is.
it takes place in 2014.
10?
Something like that. Okay. Game Lord Master of the chat has a Fanbox question. What does Tyler want for Zay Flowers? This host does not get that.
He's in a trade package right now. So, right now, nothing.
Is that a person?
Yes.
I think it's a flower.
That's what I assume.
Zay Flowers is our wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens. Dynasty fantasy football. So we had our dynasty fantasy football draft. I was going to get to that here in a little bit. And I have Zay Flowers, who's a rookie for the Ravens. He's projected to be their number 2 wideout this year.
Oh, and Lepke wants.
And Lepke wants him, yeah.
Make him give you something IRL.
Ooh. Just offer me like some cannon fodder and the thing so the trade will go through, and then make him like give me something in real life.
Send a care package from Holocron.
Ooh. I could be enticed.
Over in the chat, we also have another fun little story from Rice-A-Roni. I once had, I don't know if I can say that, my head in Simon Baker's crotch. I was a PA on an episode of The Mentalist and had to lay in the foot of an SUV and tell them when the director had called action. Look, you got to do what you got to do to get the movie made, right?
It's all about getting the shot.
That's right. Kudos to you, man.
I've never been that close to a celebrity, I don't think.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a man's crotch.
Oh.
I'm high-fived Yao Ming.
Pretty dope.
That is.
I met Kim Conroy.
You did. You had a straight-on conversation.
Yeah.
We sure did, baby.
But Yao Ming is
can't be
7'6",
Can't
so
be
like
tough.
that's like, and I was 12, so I was probably like 3'4". Felt like I was looking at a skyscraper.
I met Sean Taylor.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, I think that's a good opportunity for us to move over to our weekly updates.
Mine's real short this week.
Tyler, you kind of gave us a little bit of a hint.
Yeah, so Dynasty Fantasy Football. I've wanted to do it for a really long time. You have 33 players on your roster. The waiver wire is empty. You're carrying backup quarterbacks. It's super cool. It feels like a real GM situation. I like it a lot. The other thing, just as a reminder for people here who are sports fans, a few weeks ago now, I did a two spot shows for Bleacher Report. And we have been offered another show later this month, August 28th to be exact. I may or may not be on that show, but I am helping with the production and setup for it. And if all goes well, I will be on it. If not, Donnell will hold it down. And we're really excited about that. Then the other thing I did, we've talked about Oppenheimer tonight a few times. I am reading the Oppenheimer biography, American Prometheus.
Nice.
And
what the movie was
it's
loosely based on.
It's what inspired Nolan to make it.
Okay.
So like he read this book, years ago and was like, so I guess this script had been passed around several times. Sam Mendes tried to make it.
Oh.
And then Nolan got it, made a script, and studios liked it, and so they moved with it. But I'm reading the biography, and one thing I think that's so interesting with somebody like Oppenheimer, because this goes way more into like his childhood, his upbringing, like it's his life, right? Like we're getting the whole picture. And like one thing that's always been consistent when you read about people who are as intelligent as a man like Oppenheimer was, is they're just so socially awkward. Like they're so smart that talking to people is boring. And I feel like I have no idea what that would be like. Like it's hard for me to fathom. But what I do want to say is there's a line in Oppenheimer where they're like, his name's J. Robert Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what's the J for? And they're like, he says it's for nothing. It's just there, right? In the book, they actually reveal like it's revealed why it's there. His dad's name is Julius Robert Oppenheimer. That's Oppenheimer's name. But he would tell people the J is there for nothing. It doesn't mean anything. So like that was like legit like something he did.
Oh,
right?
that's interesting.
There's a lot of little lines in the book when they're like reading things that he had said to people, or like letters he wrote that Nolan worked into the movie, even just to where I'm at now. And it's just really cool to kind of see that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been really fun to read. It's a dense read. There's a lot of physics speak that I'm not smart enough to handle, but I'm really enjoying reading it, and it's my nonfiction book for the year.
Nice.
If I can even finish it this year. It's like I said, it's dense, man. Yeah. It's dense, but it's good.
Cool.
That's it.
Luke, what'd you do this week?
What did I do this week? Not a whole lot either. Just a lot of revisiting stuff. I did do one new thing. One new thing for an old thing, older thing. The stuff I revisited is I reinstalled Fallout 4.
Oh, nice.
Since Starfield comes out soon. And I just wanted to feel what shooting would be like for a little bit, and I've been having fun with it. But I've reinstalled Fallout 4 a lot, and I've never made it through the main campaign. I always kind of fall off of it. But man, I got that sucker turned down on like as easy as you can go. So like, I'm not really struggling.
Yeah, their ability to make a game accessible has always been really good.
I've been enjoying that. I'll probably keep doing it for a while. Another reason I started playing it was because I wanted to play like a big feeling game.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that Baldur's Gate 3 was only on PC until September. And I was devastated. Because like people are like, yo, this is awesome. And it was like pretty much just D&D, the video game. So I was like, great, I'm going to buy it and play it. Hopefully I like it. Not on console yet.
I found out that way this weekend too, because I saw people like talking about it, like on Twitter and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, dang! I didn't even realize it came out." I looked at the release date for it because I was like, "Are they in preview or are people like playing the full game?" And then it was only PC, and I was like,
"It comes out on PS5 on September 6th, 1st. I don't know when Starfield's out." So,
the same day.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if Starfield sucks, I have a fallback, but. I was really sad. They don't even know when it's coming out on Xbox yet.
Wow.
Which is a huge bummer. But that game looks awesome. I've been experiencing it on Twitch. I can't wait to play it.
Nice.
But Fallout 4 I'll have to do for now. Completely different game. The other thing, I've been doing my Nolan rewatch, so I watched Insomnia. I put that in my list of this movie's such an underrated movie. It's such a normal movie for Nolan too. It doesn't like do it out of order. It's really straightforward. It's a small town murder. Till it's not. Oh, just a tease. Robin Williams is so good in that movie. He's so creepy. Highly recommend you watch that one. The new old thing I did was I watched. Hold on, let me bring up the title. It's long. Where'd it go? The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch a Western, and I'd never seen this one. Roger Deakins cinematography, Brad Pitt, Casey Affleck. I really enjoyed it. I'd recommend it in family worthy.
Nice. Cool.
Also, I mean, it's Roger Deakins.
I mean,
like, there's always that one shot that you have from Roger Deakins in movies. You go, he's good. He's good. At least look up the opening train heist in the beginning of the movie. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Very good.
It's so pretty.
That all you did?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't do much this week either. I've been very busy getting my ankle taken care of, and I helped a friend shoot a short film, and then we resubbed to Hulu. Kind of ran out of Netflix things to watch for the moment.
Not watching How to Train Your Dragon Prince.
Oh, the Dragon Prince season 5?
That they ghost dropped in and have not put out a single trailer for.
Just have not felt.
Actually, that's what I did. I watched the first episode.
Oh, what was it like?
It was okay.
It was okay. All right. Well, Luke had recommended that you were like, you need to watch The Bear.
Yeah.
So I started watching The Bear, and then have kind of been chaos. Have also been kind of catching up on like the last season of Rick and Morty.
Yes, chef.
There's new episodes for Futurama.
Yeah.
So I watched the first one of those. That's good. It's all been good so far, but of course, like I'm definitely front loaded with good things because I haven't been on Hulu in a while. But I will report back when I've actually finished those.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Corner.
Behind. I need hands. Hands. I need some fucking hands. The show, man, it really like just makes your heart beat because they're just like yelling at each other, and then they're like, "Man, I'm going through this right now," and then they're yelling at each other again. Like, oh my gosh.
So over in the chat, Rice-A-Roni asks, have you guys talked about Wonderwell yet? Carrie Fisher's last movie. It was filmed back in 2016, but it's coming out this year. We have not talked about it. I'm going to pull it up real quick.
I haven't even heard of it.
Yeah, Carrie Fisher right there. When is it getting a U.S. release? Let's see. Oh, it was lining up. Did it come out? I didn't remember hearing anything about it. It says this Deadline article says it's going to have a limited theatrical run via AMC starting June 23, 2023. I do not even remember seeing this. I'm gonna have to check it out though, because Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, I haven't even heard.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Thank you for letting us know about it.
Yeah.
Like it has some fairly mixed reviews on
The review website.
on the review website. But never know. Cool. Yeah, no, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Definitely will have to check it out.
We'll have to find a way to
And
watch it.
Nick says, hands, cousin.
Cousin?
Yeah, The Bear has been fantastic. I have been loving it. So I'm only a couple episodes in, but it's the kind of chaos I can't.
Just wait till you get to that like even in season 1, the extreme chaos episode. I think it's like episode 7, and it's just like, oh my gosh, just like hoping the credits start rolling just so you can breathe.
Like I watched the first 2 episodes back to back, and I was like, I think I need a break.
Yeah,
it's not one to binge, I don't think.
Which is funny because they just dropped the entire season.
Yeah.
Oof. Now I feel like I have to watch it.
You should watch
Will
it.
Dana like it? No?
Bren would love it.
Okay.
It's about food.
It's about
Nice.
food.
She'd be like, look at that.
Oh
meal.
my goodness. All right.
Sweet.
Well,
Chopping veggies.
that's going to be our show for this week. Thank you for tuning in live on Twitch and commenting in the chat. Hang out with us, Rice-A-Roni and Game Lord Master.
With the bacon, eggs, and cheese.
Courtney
And
liked it a lot. Okay, I'll try to get Dana to watch it with me.
we appreciate everyone who watches on YouTube and listens to us via the podcast. So we'll be back next week with a review of something.
We're going to review the bacon, eggs, and cheese.
The bacon,
eggs, and the cheese.
Who has the best
Bacon,
Bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich?
The bacon,
Dude,
egg,
I
and
We'll let
cheese.
you know.
I had bacon, egg, and cheese, and cinnamon waffles or pancakes for breakfast yesterday.
gosh.
The bacon, eggs, and cheese.
Well, until next week, we'll see ya. Thanks.
Bacon, eggs, cheese.